There was actually 7 screws to remove. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there's one in the back. 7. So once I remove this plate, I'm just going to put this on top like that, and then I'm going to take the screws out from this plate and put it in here like a puzzle piece, and then this rear exit will be ready for me for the way that my kitchen is configured. Alright, so I got the block plate installed, and just uses 3 screws. There's 2 different types of screws. One is flat and one is rounded. The rounded goes here at the top, and the flat ones go here on the sides. And so now this is ready now. For the next step, what I'm going to have to do is install this in the wall. So this is the previous damper that was here from the old exhaust fan. I'm going to have to get this to fit in there. It looks like it's the same size opening, but I'm going to probably have to remove this this tape and potentially this metal ductwork. We'll see. I don't want to remove it, and given that this is like a 980 CFM fan, I think it'll have no problem lifting up this back plate as well as the other one that's there. So in order to get this to fit, I'm gonna have to probably just cut these using some tin snips to get a little more width in here, and then this should fit nicely in there. I had to cut back the ductwork in there a little bit to get it to fit, and then I taped around the edges for a tighter seal with this Nashua tape that you can get from Home Depot or Lowe's. So next step is to feed this wire upward into this top cabinet and make a hole for a new outlet up there, because the new exhaust comes with a plug instead of wires that need to be terminated. So that's going to be the next step. And I'm using this multi-tool to cut out an opening for a junction box. Okay, so we have cut through the cabinet, and I use this flat screwdriver to pry off this very thin piece of cabinet. And now I'm going to use this drywall saw to cut out the drywall. Just be very careful. I know that there already is a wire that's coming down from the floor above us, so don't have to go really deep. Just go deep enough to cut the drywall. And there's our 2x4, and over here is the same 2x4, so we should be very easily be able to take this wire and push it up and get it over here, and then get it inside of this old work junction box and terminate our outlet. So let me just double check that I turned off the right breaker. Okay, we should be good to go now. All right, so I was able to easily feed the wire up through the cavity up here to the top. So next I'm gonna strip back another 3 or 4 inches of this wire. The wire is in the junction box right now. I've screwed in the junction box. I've stripped off about a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch. And so the next step is for me to install this GFCI outlet. I got one with an audible alarm because unfortunately this is not on a circuit by itself. If I were installing a range hood with a microwave, I would definitely need a dedicated circuit. Whenever the builder wired this house, probably to save money and because of the codes at that time, this is on a circuit with a bunch of other stuff. So I'm hoping with this audible alarm, if it ever does trip, I'll know right away and be able to resolve it. The other thing I wanted to point out is that when you're cutting out the cabinet, if you're doing a similar type of installation, don't cut out enough so that the junction box still has some surface area for the tabs to sit on. So I've cleaned up everything and turned on the power. It's beeping because with new GFCIs you have to reset it first before you use it for the first time. So now it should be good to go. This is the range hood installed. Looks really nice. I have the hand gesture mode turned on. There's a sensor here and a sensor here, and the idea is that you put your palm in between the two sensors and wave. That's on the high setting, medium, low, off.